Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. To you I say Shalom. Lord willing, this blessing is edifying to the flock of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. And as you see on the screen, Salakia, this man Kyrie Irving is really on a warpath right now, man. And call Haloyam La Yawashim Yahushai, because what he's doing is eventually going to lead the elect to, the elect that's not woken up yet to the truth, to find it, man. All right. All of this is doing is pushing the truth forward, man. No matter how Amalek tries to, punish Kyrie, fine Kyrie, suspend Kyrie for his stance on what he shared on his social media, all that is doing is furthering the truth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the last 30 seconds of this press conference or media outing or something. And then after the video, after I'm done saluting and closing the video out, I'll play the whole 6 minutes, all right? But here's the last 30 seconds.
Energy when you guys are addressing me.
Kyrie, for the record, do you have any anti-Semitic beliefs?
Again, I'm going to repeat. I don't know how the label becomes justified because you guys ask me the same questions over and over again. But this is not going to turn into a spin around cycle of questions upon questions. I told you guys how I felt. I respect all walks of life and embrace all walks of life. That's where I sit.
I think what people want to hear, though, is just a yes or no on that question. Yes or no.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.
He says he cannot be, anti. I'm not trying to get this flagged, but he says he knows where he comes from, man. All right? This is John chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. All right. Right now, Kyrie is standing on a solid ground right now. He's standing on a sure foundation, and that's the truth, man. All right? Lies cannot defeat the truth. The truth cannot be defeated, man. So what he's doing is, he's not speaking quote unquote his truth. He is speaking the truth, right? He knows where he comes from. He knows who he descends from, right? Just like if a so-called black person calls another so-called black person nigga, right? Is that racist? No. But if a so-called white person calls a so-called black person nigga, the so-called black person might find offense to that. He'll think it's racist, right? Because it's two different people using a word that's considered so-called racist. Just like Kyrie Irving, he cannot be anti if he is the same people, right? This is really this is the mindset of society. So based on society standards, he's 100% correct, man. He's 1000% correct. He cannot be anti-Semitic. So, damn, got me. He cannot be anti if he knows where he comes from. All right. Let me jump over to 2 Corinthians chapter 13. 2 Corinthians 13 and 8. For we can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Right. So no matter how you try to demonize, vilify, throw labels upon this man, you really can't do nothing against the truth. All you doing, really, at the end of the day, the book that Kyrie shared on his Twitter, the link to his book that he shared on his Twitter, is being spread more by really Amalek, by putting it on their media platforms, by making him the center of the news, right? The center of attention. You're really exposing the book. Now the book does have a lot of falsehoods in it, right? Because I used to have that book when I first came into the truth, right? But I never finished it, but it does have some falsehoods in it, right? So he is right when he says, the book has some falsehoods in it, all right? But at the same time, this book will lead you into the truth, man, if you're part of the elect. right? Because everybody has different paths into finding the 100% truth, right? The wisdom lays stumbling blocks, before, right? Wisdom doesn't just give you the 100% truth off rip, man. All right, it has to try you first to see if you're worthy of handling her, man. All right, this is Sirach chapter 4. Sirach chapter 4. I'll start from verse 11. Sirach 4 and 11. Wisdom exalteth her children, and layeth hold of them that seek her. He that loveth her life, Salakia, he that loveth her loveth life, and they that seek to her early shall be filled with joy. He that holdeth her fast shall inherit glory, and wheresoever she entereth, the Lord will bless. That her and she is talking about wisdom. All right. They that serve her shall minister to the Holy One, and them that love her, the Lord doth love. The scripture talks about the loving none, but he that dwells with wisdom, roughly paraphrasing, man. All right. The Lord doesn't love fools, man. All right. Only the ones that are dealing with wisdom. And the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord, man. All right. Verse 15, whoso giveth ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attendeth unto her shall dwell securely. Right. If you dwell with wisdom, right, you're going to be protected, man. You're going to dwell securely, man. All right. Verse 16, if a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. For at first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul, and try him by her laws. Then will she return the straight way unto him, and comfort him, and show him her secrets. Right. So that's the point I wanted to get to. Basically, wisdom, when you first come into the truth, you're going to run into a lot of stumbling blocks. That's wisdom testing you, man. That's really the Lord testing you, but using wisdom to test you, right? Now, if you fall for those stumbling blocks and never get up, then wisdom will leave you there, man. But if you keep dealing with it and get past the stumbling blocks, then you will find 100% truth, right? And then you'll be comforted then, man. All right, verse 19. But if you go wrong, she will forsake him and give him over to his own ruin. Right? If you run into a stumbling block and never, if you can't hurdle that stumbling block, you will be forsaken by wisdom, man, and given up to your own ruin at the end of the day. Right? But let me jump over to Proverbs 28. Proverbs 28 and 1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. Right, because in that interview, Kyrie was basically saying, I used to be scared of the lights and the cameras and all the eyes of the media staring at me, but I ain't scared no more. I'm gonna sit here and speak on it, basically stand my ground. Right, because even though Kyrie is not in the 100% truth, right, because he's still calling upon Yahweh, right, calling upon false names, he's still better than the majority of people that's still in the world. Right, so he could be part of the 1/3, man. Lord willing, he never folds, man. Lord willing, that man never folds, and he's a beacon of them to that sleep, so they could run into the truth, man. So they could run into the elders and apostles of the great millstone and get a true understanding, right? Because before when Kyrie was going through that mandate nonsense, I was thinking he was gonna fold on then. So Lord willing, he doesn't fold, man. Salaki, I thought Kyrie was gonna fold the last year, but the man stood his ground, man. All right, Proverbs 28 and 1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion, man. All right, and a beautiful thing about this whole interview, man, is everything he said, through the Spirit was on point. Right, in this one, everything he said through the Spirit was on point, right? So, and he really dissected these people, man. He asked them, where were you? Basically asking them, where were you? Asking these questions when my ancestors and my people were buried in this land, man. He mentioned the Trail of Tears. He mentioned over 300 million Gadites and Reubenites buried in Babylon, man. And the Lord Babylon still has to face judgment for that, man. Doesn't get swept under the rug. When things get swept under the rug, it eventually has to get clean, man. All right. If it doesn't get clean, the house gets destroyed. I mean, the house doesn't get destroyed because it's dirt under the rug. But if it's dirt under the rug, eventually, if the dirt is not clean, over time, you know, if the rug is not lifted up, the house is gonna get made over again, man. And that's basically Babylon. Babylon has swept all its crimes under the rug, thinking that they're gonna get away with it, man. No, Babylon has a long list of atrocities that it has to pay for, man. A very long list, man. And Kyrie mentioned one of them, right? And you think the media asks follow-up questions to his answers? No, they have a set amount. They have a specific set of questions that they ask. They're just trying to get this man to fold or trip up on his words, man. All right, but the Wadi Yabashim Yahshua, he didn't this time, man. All right, this is Colossians chapter 4 and verse 6. Let your speech be always seasoned. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. All right, and that takes wisdom too. Ultimately, it's the spirit, but when you say something, like, you don't premeditate your answers to certain questions, you know. Kyrie was moving in the spirit during this media outing, man. Right? Let me jump over to First Esdras chapter 3. I'm gonna start from the top, but the point really is that verse 12. Really, the point is that in chapter 4, but I'm gonna bring this out to you know, explain what's going on. Basically, explain the story. First Esdras chapter 3 and 1. Now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects, and unto all his household, and unto all the princes of Media and Persia, and to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia, of 127 provinces. And when they had eaten and drunken, and were satisfied, gone home, then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awaked. Then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body spake one to another, Let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things in token of victory. As to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and a headgear of fine linen, and a chain about his neck. All right. This again proves that these are jakes, man. They want nice clothes, gold chain around their neck, you know, drinking out of gold cups. Verse 6. And he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin. All right, so these 3 guards came up with a plan to, you know, whoever comes up with the wisest saying is going to get blessed by the king. Blessed so much that the king will call him basically his cousin, right? Just like Jake do. When Jake is close to somebody in this world that's not related to them, they call them cousin, right? Verse 8. And then everyone wrote his sentence and sealed it. Sealed it and laid it under King Darius his pillow. And said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and of whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is the wisest. To him shall the victory be given, and was appointed. The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is the strongest. The third wrote, women are strongest, but above all things, truth beareth the way to victory. Right. So the third one, at the end of the day, was the wisest one, because the truth really conquers everything, man. Nothing. You really can't use anything against the truth. You can't do anything against the truth, man. You can't turn the truth into a lie, right? I mean, you could, but then it would just be a lie. But the truth will always prove a liar, man. All things are about to be revealed, man. And right now we're seeing the revealing to the sleep, right? Because, you know, the wickeds have already been revealed to the elect and men of wisdom, right? All right, because if you go to let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. All right. Kyrie Irving is upset right now because he is oppressed. All right. You might say to yourself, he's a multi-millionaire. All he does is play basketball. He's living a life. But he can't speak his mind. He can't say what he wants. He can't do what he wants. He can't go places he wants, right? All you see, the people you see on TV are all puppets. All you see are rich slaves, man. That's all these people are, man. And this is why you see them. This is why you don't see other celebrities backing up people like Kanye, Kyrie when they speak their mind. When they speak the truth, man. When they speak the truth, nobody will stand beside them, man. The truth will ostracize you, man. Make you an outcast to society, man. But, the truth is going to conquer all. So you could live in lies for a season, or you could live for eternity in the truth, man. The choice is really up to you, man. And Lord willing, Kyrie repents, finds the true names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, right? But, they're saying he might be suspended for a minimum of 5 games. Don't be surprised if you never see him put on a jersey for the rest of the year. All right? And it's also a beautiful thing that what Kyrie is doing. Because what you got to understand, that this is Kyrie's last year in his contract. So usually what ball players would do on the last year of their contract, they will ball the fuck out. Right? They will play their best that they can. This way, when it's time to get a new contract, they can say, oh, look what I did last year. I demand a certain amount of money, and they will get it, right? Because teams will be like, oh, he averaged 30 points, he probably hit 50 home runs last year, or he had 18 touchdowns last year. They'll say, okay, we're going to throw the bag at him because this man, he's going to help our team win, and he's going to help sell tickets. But instead, what Kyrie is doing is really destroying his career or destroying his opportunity to get a so-called max contract. Because Kyrie, as he said in the interview, he's 30 years old, and this is his contract year. Right now, he's getting $35 million this year. So if they suspend him for the rest of the year without pay, he's basically forfeited $35 million for the truth, man. All right? But let's see if he folds, man. Because, wisdom is really supposed to be desired over vanity and riches, man. Riches of this world. All right? Let me get one more. I'm going to close out. And then, after I close out, I'll play the whole interview. Wisdom of Solomon 6, starting at verse 20. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore. Right, like I said earlier, you could either live for a season in lies or, live forever in the truth, man. But scriptures talk about your riches won't profit in the day of the day of the Lord, man. All right, riches profit not in the day of wrath. Roughly paraphrasing. So, what are you gonna do when you living in lies, and the Lord pulls up on you, man? Literally, man, because He's coming as a thief in the night. All right, what are you gonna offer? You're not gonna offer him $100 million. You're not gonna offer him land. All right, he's taking everything in blood, man. But I'm going to wrap it up with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. Until next time, I want to say shalom and a bottle ball.
For the hurt that your posts cause people.
I'll take my responsibility for posting that. Some things that were questionable in there, untrue. Like I said, in the first time you guys asked me when I was sitting on that stage, I don't believe everything that everybody posts. It's a documentary. So, take my responsibility.
It seems like Adam Silver wanted to hear the word "I apologize," or in your mind, you said I didn't mean to cause any harm. Were you apologizing, or were you not?
I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm not the one that made the documentary.
What are the specific things in the documentary that you don't believe are true and that you don't believe represent your rights?
I think some of the criticism of the Jewish faith in the community, for sure. Some points made in there that are unfortunate.
Kyrie, are you surprised that you did hurt people?
Surprised that I did hurt people?
Are you surprised that reaction and some of the things that you did hurt people?
Yeah, I think I can ask a better question. It's just, where were you when I was a kid, figuring out that 300 million of my ancestors are buried in America? Where were you guys asking those same questions when I was a kid learning about the traumatic events of my familial history and what I'm proud to come from and why I'm proud to stand here and why when I repeat myself that I'm not going to stand down, it has nothing to do with dismissing any other race or group of people. I'm just proud of my heritage and what we've been through. And the fact that this has pinned me against the Jewish community and I'm here answering questions of whether or not I'm sorry or not on something I didn't create, and it was something I shared, and I'm telling everybody I'm taking responsibility, then that's where I sit. So, these same questions that you guys ask, me dealing with it as being a melanated, pigmented person all around the world, and dealing with racial biases against my skin color, demeaning me because of my religious beliefs, and I'm still sitting in the seat standing. So I take my full responsibility. Again, I'll repeat it, for posting something on my Instagram or Twitter that may have had some unfortunate falsehoods in it. But I also am a human being that's 30 years old, and I've been growing up in a country that's told me that I wasn't worth anything, and I came from a slave class, and I come from a people that are meant to be treated the way we get treated every day. So I'm not here to compare anyone's atrocities or tragic events that their families have dealt with generations of time. I'm just here to continue to expose things that our world continues to put in darkness. I'm a light. I'm a beacon of light. That's what I'm here to do. You guys ask me questions about basketball, I give you my expert opinion. You guys ask me about other things, I give you my opinion, and it's met with whatever you believe the perception or the deception is. You guys investigate my life every day, and you justify it by serving your own purpose, which I honor. I would like the same respect in return, figuring out just like anyone else. So please keep that same energy when we're talking about anti-other things, because just because I post a documentary doesn't mean I'm anti-Semitic, and doesn't mean that I'm automatically standing with everyone that is believing in it. So it's unfortunate timing that we're in, but I'm glad that I can stand on the truth, because I'm not afraid of these mics, these cameras. I used to be looking everyone in the eye and telling them the truth, and I'm proud of who I am. Any label that you put on me, I'm able to dismiss because I studied. I know the Oxford Dictionary, you look it up, right? One of the biggest mistakes I had in being a kid was not knowing European or Western language until I started looking it up and understanding the definitions and why they say, if you want to trick a black person, put it in a book. I was wondering my whole life why they said that. Now I'm 30 years old and I know reading is a superpower because it helps me understand where I'm going and where I come from. Like a tree with roots.
Kyrie, the documentary listed among falsehoods. It said the Holocaust didn't happen. Do you believe the
Again,
Holocaust
those falsehoods
happened?
are unfortunate. And it's not that I don't believe in the Holocaust. I never said that. Never, ever have said it. It's not come out of my mouth. I never tweeted it. I never liked anything like it. So, the Holocaust in itself is an event that means something to a large group of people that suffered something that could have been avoided. No one said we had to practice racism. No one said we had to treat each other like garbage. No one said that I had to stand here today and understand that Many people that come from generations 60 years ago, 40 years ago, enslaved some of my ancestors still, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, and it's still going on. And you guys are asking me, respectfully, to speak on something that was a documentary that I had nothing to do with. I didn't make it. So just please keep that same energy when you guys are addressing me.
Kyrie, for the record, do you have any anti-Semitic beliefs?
Again, I'm gonna repeat. I don't know how the label becomes justified because you guys ask me the same questions over and over again. But this is not gonna turn into a spin around cycle, questions upon questions. I told you guys how I felt. I respect all walks of life and embrace all walks of life. That's where I sit.
I think what people want to hear, though, is just a yes or no on that question. Yes or no.
I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from.